Hajo Eicken. I'm director of the International Arctic Research Center at University of Alaska Fairbanks. I'm a professor of geophysics. My expertise is in sea ice geophysics, and I've been working with ADAC, initially as a PI on the ice hazards program. The shorefast ice is being used as if it were part of the built environment. People use it for roads, for transportation, for staging, equipment, both oil and gas industry and local hunters, and have done so for a long period of time. All of that has changed dramatically. Now, the ice forms in some areas that we've looked at as much as a month to 2 months later. But more important, it doesn't remain as stable as it used to be. So now you have to continuously monitor and track whether you're at risk of being on a piece of ice that might break out and drift out to sea, or be completely broken up and ground up as part of coastal ice dynamics. We had a winter where one of the oil and gas operators had several hundreds of people out on the ice in the Beaufort Sea, the shorefast ice, with heavy equipment to conduct exploration drilling from the shorefast ice. In the winter, you just literally drive your truck out on the ice and you're towing heavy rigs, hundreds of thousands of pounds across the shorefast ice. The engineers were getting worried to the extent that they actually decided to rely on two of the people who were working with us, brought them in and said, have a look at these ice conditions, tell us what your perspective is on safety of this ice. And both of them, well-respected people who had decades and decades of experience of being out in the environment, had a very, very thorough understanding of the range of processes and hazards, said, well, this is marginal. We're not sure whether we would put our people out on this type of ice. And so they actually terminated the operation. There's significant challenges, of course. In general, research in the Arctic fulfills a role beyond just identifying what's new, helping us understand some of these processes that we currently don't understand but that we need to respond to, because it also provides important information that is relevant to operators. And my sense is that that aspect is underappreciated. The project that Nathan Kettle heads is interesting because we can now draw on case studies that have been with data compiled as part of the early stages of ADAC and its predecessor project, where we have specific incidents that were part of the increased shipping activity in the Arctic. A fuel barge got loose in eastern Canada in the Beaufort Sea, then drifted with the shorefast ice past our radar, our observation point at Point Barrow, ended up in Russian waters. We've had the ADAC team part of provided information that was relevant in a search and rescue effort as part of a landfast ice breakout event. We actually tracked ice hazards during the course of a vessel rescue by the Coast Guard and a subsequent grounding of that vessel, and understand what type of information would have helped the responders be more effective in assessing hazards up front, and how could they have been even more effective in responding to a specific incident. And it's the work that Nathan is leading now that'll help us draw on all of the geophysical data, combining it with the best of social science, with the best of systems analysis, and the best of maritime analysis, to learn from these efforts, not just in saying, okay, now we understand how this works and we'll be more careful in the future, but actually develop tools that can be used on a day-to-day basis by the different operators to minimize the impacts of potential hazards and minimize risks ultimately.